video is making almond milk. Is it actually worth doing it? So I'm gonna I bought some better nuts, almond nuts from a proper nut shop, which are about $25 a kilo. So I'm gonna make them with those. So it's the most expensive option and should produce the best milk. And the nuts, 3 cups of nuts. So 517 grams, just over a kilo. So the reason I do 3 cups, that seems to be most manageable with the blender and using the cheesecloth and the whole process, and it makes enough for about 3 or 4 weeks. So it's a good batch. Which usually you pour water in. This is filtered water. Cover it over. You can leave it for a couple of hours. And then what I do is also take off the skin off the almonds so the milk tastes a lot better. Yes, I've been soaking the nuts for about an hour. So let's see how dirty the water is. There's a bit of rubbish in that. Alright, so I've been soaking the nuts in water for about 4 hours. I've put 3 changes of water. So I've tipped the water out 3 times that time. Put new water in and see if the skin comes off. Yep. There you go, so the skin comes off easily. So what I'll do now, which is probably the most painful part of making your own almond milk, is pulling all the skins off. Alright, so that took 25 minutes. My hands are a little bit sore, but I'm pretty quick at it now. So all the husks are there, all the peeled almonds are over there. Alright, so here I've got the 3 cups of activated almonds, which I'll pour into the blender. I'll go up to the mark and I'll let it go past. There. So I'll just run it through again, but mix it all in the same, mix it all up here together so it's all consistent. Add some water. And I'll just extract it again, get some more. And we'll just put that through the cheesecloth again. put on 100 degrees. The tray there. That'll make the almond flour. Yes, I put the oven on around 100 degrees for 3 hours last night. Then I left it in there, turned off overnight, and then a couple of hours again this morning at 100 degrees. That's potential flours. Yep, touch dry, it doesn't stick to you, rolls up the end. So I use a sieve and a spoon method. There we go, done. There's all the flour. Right, so I made some flour. So that's from the original 3 cups of almond seeds, almond nuts. $145. The almond flour, if you buy it in the shop, is $10 for 300 grams. So the amount I made would be approximately just under $5. Alright, so I finished making the ice cubes, and that's the concentrate I use to make the almond milk. So roughly 1 batch of ice, so I've got 4 of them, should make 1.5 litres, which are over here to test. So I'll put it into the blender. I'll add the water up to 1.5 litres, which is up to here. And blend it up. Milk. So it's also a good idea to give it a taste. So I'll just get a spoon. Yep, that's fine. That's nice, tastes sweet. Perfect, 1.5 litres. So that means from that batch I can make 1.5 times 4 is 6 litres of milk. So that's quite good, 6 litres of milk. The milk I like is Nutty Bruce, which is $5.50 a litre. So I work out the cost of that much milk. So 6 litres, the stuff I buy is like $5.50, and this is comparable to that in my opinion. I'm not doing it for the money, I'm doing it because I like to drink my own almond milk with the husks taken off the seeds. Yeah, so I'll bag these up. There'll be 3 more lots out of this. So I think 1.5 litres, if I don't have too many smoothies, will last me almost a week. After all that, you can see it's a bit of effort to make your own milk, but you know, is it worth making it yourself? So I'll go through the figures. So we weighed out 3 cups of nuts, which was 517 grams of nuts, which would have cost $13. So that's the only real cost. From that, we made 6 litres of almond milk via an extract process, which is the milk I like is $5.50 a litre. So comparing it to that, I know you can buy it a lot cheaper than that, but I wouldn't drink that milk anyway. So for me, that's worth $33. And then we also get the flour. So we get 145 grams of flour, which is, the cost is $10 for 300 grams. So it's approximately $5, just under $5 in flour, which is quite good. And I also use the flour to make biscuits. So all in all, I'm $25 ahead for every batch I make. The batch lasts usually 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how many smoothies I decide to have. But with that, there's a lot of labour. So peeling the nuts is a painful exercise, especially when I was doing it for the video, because I was doing one quick go. It took 25 minutes, but if you took a bit more time just watching TV and doing it in the background, you sort of don't notice you're doing it. So it's not too bad. And you only have to do it every 2 to 3 weeks, so it's not such an issue. Also sieving the flour, especially in other times I've actually overcooked the flour and it was really hard to get through the sieve. It almost turns into little rocks, and I had to actually use a mortar and pestle to actually grind it down to get it through. So, but this time with the new oven, I can set it to 100 degrees and there's no issues with that. So 10 minutes to sieve the flour. The other big job is putting it through the cheesecloth and blending it as well. That took approximately 30 minutes. So altogether it's about an hour of labour, and also it sort of takes a whole day, but I'm not doing that all day long. I'm like soaking the nuts for half the day, then in the night time I'm sort of blending it up. Then the next day I'm also drying out the flour in the oven and getting the concentrate out of the freezer after it's frozen and putting it in bags. So it's a sort of day and a half I do it, but it lasts for like 3 weeks. So it's like just a little bit of a hobby. So if you don't mind doing that, I'd recommend making your own almond milk. The other thing is you need to buy a good blender. So I wouldn't just buy this blender costs $250, and it's quite a powerful one. It's working quite well. I wouldn't try to do it with a little cheap blender because it's just gonna drive you insane. So if you need to buy a blender and all that, might not be worth it for a while. And also if you're happy with cheaper milk, I'd just drink that. So for me personally, it's definitely worth it, but you'd have to weigh up all those different things for yourself. It's a bit of a hobby. So anyway, thanks for listening. Hope it helps.